a massive landmass spanning 11 time zones from the Baltic Sea to the Pacific Ocean. But this colossal power wasn't always this way. It all began in the 9th century, deep within the snowy steppes, along the riverbanks, where a handful of Viking warriors took their first steps. This is the story of a people crushed under the Mongol storms from the steppes, yet rising from the ashes more magnificent every time. Are you ready for a breathtaking journey? From the gold-leafed palaces of the Tsars to the bloody revolutions that shook the world and into a modern superpower? Today, we are exploring Russia's 1,000-year destiny and how an empire was built in exactly 5 minutes. The stage is set. Let's begin. Russia's history truly begins in the 9th century with the establishment of Kievan Rus. The Viking origin rulers who emerged during this period made a strategic move by using the river routes of Eastern Europe. These warrior traders did not just conquer territory. They built a powerful center of trade and culture. At that time, Kiev was a massive commercial network, serving as a bridge between Europe and Byzantium. In other words, the first seeds of the Russian identity were sown along these busy trade routes and through Viking discipline. However, this golden age was about to turn dark due to a threat from the east. In the 13th century, one of the greatest destructions in history occurred: the Mongol invasion. This wave of invasion essentially leveled Russian lands and began the process known in history as the Dark Period. Cities were burned, trade routes were cut, and a long period of foreign dominance began for the Russian principalities. For centuries, the Russian people were forced to live under Mongol rule. While this period of pressure detached them from the outside world, it also led them to lay the foundations of a harsher and more centralized management approach during those difficult days. So how did they escape this pressure? Over time, Moscow began to gain power among the fragmented principalities. The real turning point for Russia's destiny came during the reign of Ivan III. Under the leadership of Ivan III, the Russians put an end to Mongol rule and gained their independence. This was not just a declaration of freedom. It was the moment the Russian state truly began to take shape in the modern sense. Moscow was no longer just an ordinary city. It was the center of unified Russian lands and the heart of a new power. The name that completely opened Russia's doors to the world was Peter I. During his reign, Russia shed its skin and transformed into a massive empire. Peter decisively turned Russia's face toward Europe and modernized the country from top to bottom. Everything changed, from the navy to architecture, from education to the administrative system. Russia was no longer just a land power. It was a massive empire that dominated the seas and had a say in European politics. However, this grandeur would not be enough to silence the unrest among the people. When the calendar hit 1917, the world witnessed a shattering event: the October Revolution. With this revolution, Tsarist Russia became history, and the Soviets were established under a completely different ideology. This structure, which became the greatest power of the 20th century, collapsed in 1991. Today, Russia continues its existence as a modern state, carrying all this stormy past on its shoulders, from its Viking roots to its Soviet heritage. A 1,000-year adventure, a giant history squeezed into 5 minutes. Thank you for joining us on this journey from the Viking rivers to the modern world. The story of Russia is one of endless change and resilience. Thank you for watching.